There's a competition called Battle of the Brains. It's a programming competition where the best university students in the world compete to solve very difficult problems. It's sponsored by IBM. Last year, 1,600 teams from 82 countries competed. Here are the winners. Number 1, Warsaw University, Poland. Number 2, Tsinghua University, China. Number 3, St. Petersburg University, Russia. Number 4, the first and only American university on the top 10 list, MIT in Boston. Actually, on the top 10 list, there's only one American university, one Western European university, and one Canadian university. 7 out of 10 come from developing countries. My favorite is number 13, Petrozavodsk State University. Where the hell is that? Well, apparently, they have the 13th smartest people in the world. And that is why Microsoft suddenly has an R&D department in Siberia. Understand what this means. Suddenly access to so many smart people that can solve so many smart problems, and who will. And actually, they might just solve more problems than we will. If you go to Beijing today, you will be fascinated by all the electric mopeds that they have. Because the Chinese had already taken the next step in how we use power and energy. They are not driving on petrol mopeds, they are driving on electric mopeds because they are cheaper to buy, they are cheaper to drive. Actually, they are free to drive because you take out the battery and you charge it when you come to work. They don't make a sound, there's no mess, there's no fumes, and they are very comfortable to ride. They're much better than petrol. We are still talking about maybe in the future we will have use electric vehicles. They have millions of them in Beijing already. And this is what scares me, and this is my point. I think we did a huge mistake in the Western world 30 years ago, or 20 to 30 years ago, when we divided the world into two parts, the developing world and the developed world. Because I'm a writer, I write books, and I like to look at what words mean. So let's look at the word developing world. What does that word mean? What does the word developing mean? Developing means something that is changing, something dynamic, something that is growing, something that's being built. So that's the world they are living in. Now, what world are we living in? What does developed mean? Well, developed means finished, means done. Developed means done. Done means finished. Finished means you reach the goal. Reach the goal means you slow down. Slow down means less momentum. Less momentum means less motion. Less motion means death. We told ourselves that we are done. We are developed. Huge mistake. The last 8 months, I've been traveling around more than 25 different developing countries and developed countries, writing a new book called The Developing World. And when I do that, I usually do seminars at universities. So I've done a lot of different universities. And whenever I come to university, I ask this question. Do you think your country will be a better country tomorrow than it is today? And I ask this to university students, who are supposed to be the most optimistic people we have in a society. So when I come to China, I ask this question. Of course, 100% say yes. Actually, they raise both their hands. In India, 100% say yes. And then you could argue, yes, of course, but that's because they're poor. Of course they're going to have it better. They're poor. Well, then I went to Korea. And Korea is not a poor developing country. The average salary in Korea is 30% higher than it is in Sweden. It's the 10th biggest economy in the world, and they are part of OECD. They are a rich country. They are richer than us. 100% say yes. And then I come to Sweden. And I've done this a few times. Last time I was in Jönköping and I did a seminar for 1,000 university students in Sweden. In Jönköping. They just started university. And I asked them the same question. Do you think your country will be better tomorrow than it is today? 35% say yes. Which means Sweden right now is a country where the majority of the population says we will not become better than this. We have lost our dreams, we have lost our hope, we have no vision about what will come in the future. That's a huge problem. Because what happens to people who don't have hope, who don't have dreams? Michelangelo, he once says, the great danger for most of us is not our aim, that our aim is too high and we miss it. It's that our aim is too low and we reach it. 1950, 1960, Sweden put up a huge vision. We are going to become a country where everyone is rich and we have a great social welfare system. What a great vision, and we did it. Our only mistake is that when we reached it, we didn't put up a new one. And today we are a population where 70% of the population doesn't have a clue where we are supposed to go next. One year ago, I was in Bangkok. I was walking on the streets in Bangkok and I passed this place. And I say, wow, what a wonderful design hotel. I'm going to spend the night here. So I go into the reception, I say, hello, do you have any free rooms for tonight? And they say, no, I'm sorry, because we are not an hotel. We are a dentist. That's the reception. It's called a dental spa. But it's just like a Thai spa, but instead of fixing your back, they fix your teeth. And it's a wonderful feeling in there. I was actually so amazed by this place that on my vacation I went to the dentist. And the dentist looks down into my mouth and she says, Mr. Härén, you only have 2 small cavities, but they are so small you don't have to fix them. And I hear myself say, I don't care, fix them anyway. Because the feeling was so nice. 70 kronor per hole. In Sweden it costs 700 kronor just to find out if you have a hole. And then I come back to Sweden and I got depressed. Because is there anyone in this room who can raise your hand and said, going to the dentist today is a wonderful, wonderful spa experience? No, because going to the dentist in Sweden sucks, because it hasn't changed in 20 years. We used to have the best dentists in the world. We used to have the best healthcare in the world 20 years ago when we became a developed country, and then we stopped. And now Thailand is passing us. In Sri Lanka, you can pay with your mobile phone. It also works in India, it also works in the Philippines, and it also works in Zimbabwe. But it doesn't work here. We invented the mobile phone, but we can't pay with it. Because we had the most people connected to the internet and we had most mobile phones. Yes, 15 years ago, yes. There's a saying called, good is the enemy of great. I love this quote, but I changed it to great is the enemy of dreams coming true. Now, if I ask you, do you think Sweden is going to be a better country tomorrow than it is today? I'm sure everyone in this room will raise your hand. Because you are probably part of the 30% minority in this country. And if we are going to have a chance, if we're going to be able to build something that is better than we have today, it's up to people like you to take 2 days off to go to a conference and be inspired. So you need to do your job. Dare to dream bigger dreams, find the energy to make them come true. Thank you very much.